I remember when I was little, I was in my bedroom dreaming of studying abroad and seeing the world. And now the moment is here because I've been accepted into 4 service design master programs, and I will be studying in Politecnico di Milano to study product service system design in Italy this year. Hello everybody, ciao tutti. I am Devin, a UI UX designer with a background in sociology, and I will be sharing my journey of getting into 4 service design master's programs, which is Politecnico di Milano's product service system design, Royal College of Art service design, and Glasgow School of Art service design and design innovation, and Loughborough University's service design innovation. This video will be divided into sections, and the first part will be the overall process of applying for a master's program. So if you already know this part, just skip to the next one. So yeah, I'm just looking at my laptop to ensure that I don't forget any important part. Overall, my process took a year, maybe even more, and from taking my TOEFL and IELTS in 2024 to preparing for the design portfolio in the same year, and also for the for applying for the first phase or the early bird phase, usually from October to December. The documents that you usually need are English translated transcript and degree certificate, IELTS or TOEFL check, the program's requirement, because RCA does not accept TOEFL. So I already had TOEFL, so I had to take IELTS again because I wanted to apply for RCA. You also, other just administrative documents, and check your program's timeline as well. And also deadline, and you also have to prepare for the design portfolio if you're applying for any design master's degree, motivation letter, recommendation letter as well. Some programs might have application fee. For instance, Polimi was like €50, whereas other schools were free to apply for. Only to apply for. The announcements is usually in early January if you applied on the first batch. If you get in, you'll get the LOA or letter of acceptance, and if you need an external scholarship, you will definitely need this LOA paper or document. For instance, if you want to apply for Channing, MIHG, Fulbright, or LPDP if you're an Indonesian. And next, so make sure if you need a conditional or unconditional LOA for a scholarship. What it means is that conditional LOA or conditional letter of acceptance means that you have to meet those conditions in order to actually be accepted or to actually attend the school. For instance, it could be like a new score of IELTS or TOEFL. Maybe you did not get that score that they required for, and also most usually it's about deposit. And so if you don't have the money for the deposit now, what you can do is that you can ask for them to get you an academic unconditional LOA. So just tell them that the scholarship that you want to apply for needs the unconditional LOA. Could you please make them? Yeah, ask for the admissions board to get you that. The next part is how to choose the right school and program. So I think the easiest for me was to just look on the website called Top Universities, and then just type down the master's degree that you wanted to apply for. And what I did was I typed down service design, and then the rankings came out. I just scrolled through the website and I looked at the titles that caught my attention, and then I just looked at the official schools or programs website. For instance, I just looked at BSSD in Polimi's website, or I just looked at the RCA's actual website. So I used that ranking website just to know the options that are available for me to apply for. Look at the study period, because most masters in the UK are only for a year, whereas in other places it could be up to 2 years. And if the study period is a deal breaker for you, make sure that you are aware of this, because some people prefer having a longer period of study, whereas other people prefer less. Look at the curriculum, especially the core and elective, because for the core subjects, you cannot change any of that. You cannot replace it with another interesting subject, or you cannot change the curriculum. You have to take those core in order to graduate from the school. So if you're not interested in the core, don't take the program. Whereas for the electives, I think it's like a similar concept to the bachelor's study, but if there are elective courses in the curriculum, then you can just choose the ones that interest you the most. For instance, Polimi's, Polimi's Madonna. Polimi's elective courses are sustainability strategies and design, designing and testing for inclusivity, and more. You can check the electives on Polimi's websites as well. And for the core, for instance, in PSSD Polimi, it's called PSSD Studio, and you have to take it in order to graduate. You cannot skip the core subject. It's mandatory. If you're preparing for a scholarship, also think about the program's details, like the professors, the clubs, organizations, community, research groups, or centers, because you need to tie those details to your motivation letter, to your scholarship, and also to your master's program application. Like, you need to be able to tie and connect all of the dots on why you want to study there. Oh, it's because I want to study this issue through learning these courses with Professor A. And then the next part is design portfolio. So if you're choosing a master's degree in design, high chances are you will need a portfolio in design to showcase your design work, projects, knowledge, and process. So the programs that I were applying for, as I've mentioned, it's service design, and the names might be different from each university, but it's basically about how to design how to systematically design the systems of a service or a product, simply put. And that's the essence. And because my job is UI UX design, what I did was I made the portfolio in the usual form of a UI UX design portfolio. So I will show my portfolio here. What you need to show is your thinking process. They want to see how you solve a problem through design. They want to, if you come from architecture, graphic design, management, or other backgrounds, it's okay to put those. If you don't have any other design projects, it's okay to put those in your portfolio, but make sure that you can kind of show them that this is how design plays within your field or within your projects that maybe were not design if you get what I mean. And just make sure that you highlight the whole process of your work and how these are similar to the design processes of research, ideation, and even testing. And so it's okay if you don't actually come from a design background. I came from sociology, but my design background came from my work, which is UI UX design. Also, they want to see your potential as a designer as well. So don't just show them the pizzazz, the aesthetic of your project or your work, but also your whole thought process, how you make those design decisions. Does that come from a subjective intuition, or was that an actual calculated design decision move from a potential designer that knows the responsibility of a designer? And next, here's the overview of my design portfolio. It's basically about helping women and their partners divide their domestic tasks more equally and fairly, to make those domestic tasks visible. And this case study really aligns with my motivation letter problem, because it is about women doing unpaid care work and how we can help solve that issue. And that's the main case study, and I edit overviews of my other design projects. So if you have a case study, don't show them that you have the practical skills. I mean, obviously you still need those practical skills, but you also have to show them that you can think and how to make those design decisions. So don't show them that you're using this random intuitions or random guts on what you think is pretty or what you think works, but actually show them that you know the critical thinking and reasoning behind your design decisions. Next, show them you understand the power of design, that you bear such a responsibility as a designer, that you can mold the world based on your design work. I mean, show them that it's a possibility, and you know that responsibility is a huge thing, and also that you can reflect upon these design decisions that you make as a designer, and that you would still like to learn more. Always show that you are willing to learn more, that your knowledge is not enough, you crave more, and also show them that you can contribute to the program's activities. So you have to find the balance between being able to contribute into the program by bringing your background and also being able to learn more from the program. It'll take a long time for me to explain my portfolio thoroughly, so if you want another video on this, let me know. And next part is motivational letter. This was very tiring, to be honest. Like, I had to craft many motivation letters for different schools and different scholarships. But yeah, what I did was that I think the easiest part, or the easiest way to approach on writing a motivation letter, is that you need to find a problem that you would like to solve through that particular master's program. My bachelor's was in sociology, so I am very familiar with societal issues, especially in gender, because that's what I specialized in. Yeah, the problem that I used for all of my motivation letters was about how to increase the female employment participation. The whole idea is because women are doing all of the unpaid care work, and this requires a huge dedication of time and energy from their end. This leads to women not being able to excel in their paid work because they've lost the energy and time due to unpaid care work. And I also added the data on the academic impact if women do have an increase in female employment participation. Also added the local data of women's participation in London, Glasgow, and Milan, or each school that I was applying for, and how those data relate to the data in Indonesia, because I'm an Indonesian. Like, that's how I approach the beginning of the letter, is that Indonesia is this problem, and the women in Milan are like this. Because of your program course, I can help contribute solving this, because my thesis would be about the women in Milan, which are similar to women in Indonesia in some parts. That's basically how I approach my motivation letter. So yeah, definitely search for the problem that you are interested in to solve, and how that problem can be at least solved, or like you can contribute to solving that problem through studying in that master's program. Next is, if you're preparing for a scholarship, I suggest you using the same problem, or at least a similar one, so that you don't have to think about a whole new problem. You can just, modify those letters based on each program or each scholarship's requirements. So what you have to show in your motivation letter differs on each program, but the red thread is that you need to show them that you would like to create some societal changes through design. They don't want to only get designers, but they also want to get thinkers, people who are actually interested in the trajectory of design knowledge, people who are interested in reading design and how the knowledge of design can shift. So what I would suggest is that you need to show them that you can be versatile, that you can that you can do design hands-on, you're good with that, but you're also interested in the academic area of design, the trajectory of design knowledge that I've mentioned. Next, you need to show that you are excited to collaborate with designers or people from other background, because a good design comes from a good collaborative work. So yeah, you need to make sure that to contributing into solving this problem, you are only one person, and hence you would need an interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary team to actually contributing into solving that problem. So yeah, don't forget to mention that part. Don't forget to be humble, and that you realize that you're just one person and you will probably not going to be able to do something significant if you're alone, because good design comes from a good collaborative work. Acknowledge that part. Acknowledge your humility and your realistic expectations and confidence, and show them you're interested in design from a more systemic level, especially if you're applying for service design. If you're from a UI UX design background, from me, show them that you are interested beyond the usability of a product. Show them that you're interested in the different stakeholders involved in a service or in a product, or how a single feature or multiple features could affect societal structures and so on. So yeah, definitely highlight that you want to study beyond the interface of a product, because you want to learn it from a systemic level, and that's why you want to study for service design masters. Next is recommendation letter. So each program might have different requirement. I don't really remember this part, but I think some schools might require 2 academic lecturers, or 1 professional, 1 academic, or just 1 academic. It definitely depends on each program, so check that out. Be aware of that. And what I did was I got 2 recommendation letters from my lecturers from my bachelor study. They were my thesis advisor and thesis examiner, and they were both very specialized in gender, which was the topic that I brought up on my case study of design portfolio and also my motivational letter. But take this recommendation part with a grain of salt, because I did not take this part seriously, I think, and I did not get a merit scholarship from Polimi. I don't know if I don't know if it's because my recommendation letter was not possessed enough, or if it's because of my GPA, and my GPA was 379. I think it's not bad. But yeah, I did not get the recommendation letter. No, I did not get the merit scholarship from Polimi, but I did get the major scholarship from the Italian government, so I'm still going to Polimi this year. And yeah, but I found a video that really amazingly described the tips for the recommendation letter. I think it's from the designer boy. I really like his channel. I think I really draw many inspirations from his channel. So yeah, check that out. So the final part will be funding. If you are self-funded, just skip this part. But yeah, there are many options depending on each country or school. But I need to warn you that not all of these many options are full tuition waiver and they don't always come with living cost allowance, which are super important for Indonesians or from people with like not very strong currency. So yeah, if you want to go to Royal College of Art, there's Shavning. I did not get that. And there's LPDP. I also did not get that. If you're an Indonesian, get LPDP, try LPDP. But yeah, I'm not going to RCA because I was rejected by LPDP. And yeah, RCA also has their own scholarship. They have like this webpage regarding scholarship. They have a lot of scholarship, but the thing is that you cannot choose the scholarship on your own. What you can do is like you just apply for the scholarship to RCA, and then the RCA will sort all of the candidates and they will offer you the scholarship that they think is right for you. So you cannot say no, or you cannot pick the scholarship that you want. Yeah, I'm an Indonesian, so I cannot go study in London without a living allowance. So I did not try for the RCA scholarship at all. And for GSA, there is one scholarship, like a financial aid, and I think it could be a little hard to prove that you financially need that, because there's only one position for the whole, I think, design school, I think. But yeah, for Italy, there are so many options. I got the major scholarship from the Italian government. There's also the Investor Talent in Italy from also the Italian government. And what differs them both is that IYT requires you to do an internship, which if you study in PSSD Polimi, you must do anyway. But the thing is, if you get the IYT, you need to do the internship in an Italian company. You cannot do the internship in a like multinational company that has an office in Milan or in Italy. It needs to be an Italian company, which means that it was like built and founded in Italy. Besides the MAECI, the IYT, and the merit scholarship from each university in Italy, like Polimi also has their own merit scholarship and merit-based scholarship. And there's a financial aid called DSU. I don't know what it stands for. I think it's in Italiano, but I mean, I'll put it here. But DSU is a financial aid where you need to provide documents to prove for your finance, and I think it's open to EU and non-EU. I don't know if it's open for Italians. So what you need to do is you need to prepare this many documents in order to prove to them that you absolutely need the full tuition waive and the 5,000 euros a year. So yeah, if you get this DSU, you will get the tuition fee for free, and then you will get 5,000 euros a year, and you will also like get meal vouchers if I recall correctly. But the thing is, I've seen my friends do the whole DSU process, and it's tough. Not because it's competitive, but because the documents are tough to prepare, and like there's this tight deadline for you to like finish that DSU application thing. Like if you have the documents, then you will definitely be able to get that. But the thing is, it's hard to prepare for the documents. Like if you're a foreigner and you don't have any assets in Italy, you need to do like an ISEE evaluation. ISEC, I don't know. You need to like basically convert those assets that you have in your home country, the assets of your whole family, not just you, but like your whole family, and you know how much they are in euros. So yeah, that's for GSU. Oh, I forgot to mention for MAECI and IYT, you get the tuition for free, and also you get 9,000 euros per year, and you have to renew the scholarship each year for the two year study period. Oh my god, yeah. And yeah, we've come to the end of this video. I'm sorry if I'm like looking at my laptop too much, because I want to make sure that I get all the information, the insights that I've prepared for you guys. And yeah, to summarize, you need to be sure of what the program you want to apply for and their own timeline of application, their own like administrative requirements and so on. Yeah, prepare for the documents such as your English translated degree certificate, transcript, IELTS or TOEFL score, motivational letter, recommendation letter, design portfolio, and more. Apply for the program on their own website, wait for the results, and then get your LOA, and then prepare for your funding if you need one to study there, and then prepare for your study visa, which is completely tiring if you want to study in Italy. I mean, I have like multiple mental breakdowns just from preparing for the study visa, and I'm not even there yet to get the permesso di soggiorno. E allora, I don't know. Yeah, so that's it more or less. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope your master's like application process is fruitful and that it's like not that tiring, because I know how much tiring is that is, because like you have this anxiety to wait for the results and also wait for the fund for the scholarship and etc. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Grazie mille. Ciao ciao.